Hello guys, welcome to this channel. In this video we will talk about what are biosphere reserves and what are the list of biosphere reserve and what is the program of UNESCO Man and Biosphere Reserve in India, and we will also learn about all the definitions and difference between biosphere reserve and a wildlife sanctuary and national park. So as you can see, there are 18 biosphere reserves in India. To learn them, there is a separate video. It is a trick video to learn all of these 18 biosphere reserve in one go. It will take hardly around 2 minutes to learn all of them. So it is very easy. So in the map, as you can see, there are uh, all biosphere reserves are denoted on. This is Biosphere Reserve in Kashmir, Nanda Devi in Uttarakhand, Dibang Valley in Arunachal Pradesh, Great Run of Kutch. This is a Biosphere Reserve. In MP, there is a Panna Biosphere Reserve. Like that, uh, to learn them all, there is a separate video. So, talking about list of biosphere reserves that are included in UNESCO's MAB Biosphere Reserve program. So UNESCO includes these biosphere reserves in their list to have some status of MAP program. They will be they will have enhanced conservation benefits by the Indian government, and they will be recognized as uh, in the UNESCO's MAP program. So it will increase the efficiency of forest authorities for these particular biosphere reserves. As of now, there are 11 biosphere reserves in the UNESCO MAB reserve list. One should remember that there is a list of biosphere reserves 18. There are total 18 biosphere reserves, but UNESCO has included only 11 in their list. So it is a point to be noted. And as you can see, this is a UNESCO website. So there are 11 biosphere reserves in 2021 on the website of UNESCO. So, what is the difference between national park, wildlife sanctuary, and biosphere reserves? Let's talk first about the wildlife sanctuary and national park differences. Wildlife sanctuary are little bit less restricted than the national park, while the national parks are very restricted. Their human intervention is not allowed, and human activities are allowed in wildlife sanctuaries. Research and education purposes, things can happen easily in wildlife sanctuary. Main aim is to protect a particular flora or fauna. So these are species centric. A question may come whether the wildlife sanctuary is species centric or area centric. Wildlife sanctuaries are species centric, while the national park are area centric. There are no fixed boundaries. They are Wildlife sanctuaries are kind of transition zone between infrastructural area and the area where animals will be there. Wild animals will be there. So it is not a transition zone. There will be no definite transition zone. So there are no fixed boundaries in wildlife sanctuaries. While in national park there are fixed boundaries. They are set by either union government or center government. So national parks have fixed boundaries. It is open to general public. Anyone can go there if they are not harming the species that are inhabited in the wildlife sanctuary. Not usually open to the public because they are national parks are very restricted and not usually open to everyone. Sanctuaries are usually formed by the order of central or state government. This is same for the national park. National parks are formed by the state or central legislature. So national park and wildlife sanctuaries both are formed by the central government or state legislature. And also is in forest management is in state is in concurrent list. So it is That's how it works. State or central government, anyone can notify both of them. A sanctuary can be upgraded to national park. If there is a sanctuary, to increase the security and restraining the people to going there, there the sanctuary status can be upgraded to national park. But national park status cannot be downgraded to wildlife sanctuary, and that makes sense because government has to protect the animal species and plant species and to check the deforestation of the forest. Thus security of a sanctuary can be increased but cannot be decreased. That's why national park security cannot be decreased. So a biosphere reserve has three areas. To know difference in biosphere reserve, we need to understand what is a biosphere reserve. So it has three areas: core area, buffer zone, and transition zone. Core 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 area is main area. It is most protected area, prioritizing the conservation of biological diversity and monitoring of little disturbed ecosystem. It is main area where species are protected, and after that there is a buffer zone. In buffer zone surrounds the core area and can host activities that are compatible with the environment. In buffer zone, activities can activities are allowed, but they should not hamper the growth of environment. They should not degrade the environment. This zone also reduces the impact of human activities on the core area and is essential for maintaining biological and diversity. It also promotes biological connectivity that acts as a natural corridor between the core zone and the transition zone. So one should remember these points. Transition zone or area of cooperation. This area is fundamental for management and sustainable development of natural resources. That line means that natural resources can be extracted from transition zone. So it is not that much restricted as of core area. Core area is very restricted area. A much wide range of economic activities that benefit the socio-economic development of local population can take place here. However, these activities must respect the specific goals of each reserve. They should not degrade the environment, and activities are allowed. So thank you.